Happy holidays, fellow players of Dominion. My name is Jay. Welcome to Jay vs. Hero Wars. Today I'll be talking about my top 5 purchases in the Hero Wars shops for 2023. I'll also be talking about my top 5 Hero Soulstone purchases of 2023 for Facebook and web. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I thought it was a fun little idea, kind of in the spirit of the holiday season, right? Wrapping up the old year, 2023, and coming into 2024, kind of similar to maybe a Spotify Wrapped. But this is my own twist, and it's for Hero Wars. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are. I will be talking about my top 5 purchases in Hero Wars shops for Facebook and web in the year 2023, as well as my top 5 Hero Soulstone purchases for Facebook and web. So to start, I'll be going with some honorable mentions because there's just so many good heroes and items that I ended up getting that it's really hard to just narrow it down to 5. And I have to shout out some of these awesome heroes and purchases in the shops. So for my merchant, we're going to start with the merchant first. So the top 5 purchases in Hero Wars shops for me this year in 2023. Honorable mention has to go to any of these items that basically helped promote my heroes, right? So all the way up from gray all the way up to red +2. We're talking about those items that you see here, right? Whether it's Apostle's Mace, anything, right? Pastor's Seal, need so many of those. The All-Seer, and Vari's Fortitude Support. All of these items, right, that you needed to promote your hero to get to the next color scheme, essentially up until red +2 currently. That is the honorable mention. All the items in these shops, just so useful, so useful. And you don't want to have to go through campaign and use a ton of energy just to get the items. So that is my honorable mention. But with that, we have to start somewhere. And for me, number 5 is the Big EXP Potion. Now, if you're a newer player, you're going to have to probably agree that Big EXP Potions, or EXP Potions in general, are super, super helpful and valuable to promoting your heroes, especially if you are not quite at level 130, right? So when you are building your heroes, you need to get these heroes levels up to ideally match or at least as closely match your current game level. EXP potions really, really help even the playing field for your heroes. And for me, that's something that I really like to have, an even playing field or even an advantage if you can against other players who are lower level than you. And EXP potions come into play. And so I purchased a bunch of those. Obviously, we also have had brand new heroes, like for the current Winter Fest event, right? We have Polaris, right? So if I didn't invest in all of those EXP potions, I wouldn't have my Polaris up to level 130, as you can see here. Still some work to do, obviously. But Polaris, right, up to level 130, as well as my other heroes, getting them up to level 130 involved EXP potions. And so that is one of my top purchases. It is number 5 on the list. All right, so number 4 for me is I think, popular option as well. Something that you see in the Outland shop, something that's less easy to access in some ways, but super valuable nonetheless, and that is the large Skinstone chest. Now, I'm not going to differentiate between the 10 bundle and the singular bundle because there is no price difference if you break it down per chest. So both of them are simultaneously useful. It just depends on your current Outland resources. And so I like to pick up these large Skinstone chests, which include 150 soul stones of your choice, right? Strength, agility, or intelligence. And who doesn't need skin stones to promote their heroes? If you have all of your pets' skins complete, congratulations, you are in the minority. If you're like me, you like to focus on a couple skins, and more particularly like to pick up the cool skins that are also very useful. So you like that dual aspect of the skins. For me, my favorite current skin that we got introduced to was the 2023 Kark skin. Here you can see the Celestial skin, right? That not only looks very cool, in my opinion, but also has the physical attack component, one of the main stats for Kark. And how do you know it's a main stat? It affects pretty much most of his important skills. We're looking at Deadly Tendrils here, right, based on physical attack, as you can see. And it really does kind of help elevate his health recovery and survival factor as well. So it just is one of those very helpful dual skins in that not only does it look cool, but the stat effects are awesome as well. So that is number 4, right? We have the Skinstone chests. Number 3 is something that is probably maybe a little bit more under the radar still, in my opinion, something that should be utilized a little bit more. In the Guild Wars shop, we are looking at item number 3 in popularity on my purchases. Number 3, Titan Skinstones. I mean, Titan Skinstones, we just got introduced to a whole new level of skins in the Titan realm when we're looking at all of our support Titans, right? Whether it is the default regular ones, right? We're looking at the Earth, Water, and Fire, but now we also have the Light and Dark Titans. All of those Titans have a skin of some sort requiring Titan Skinstone. So that was my number 3 most popular purchase. Number 2 most popular purchase of 2023 was one that I think is going to be pretty high on most people's list if they were to also create a list. If we go to the Sanctuary, we are looking at the Pet Merchant, and he really kind of only has 2 options. Granted, I will say the Pet Potion has become increasingly popular for me with the advent of the Secret Wealth Merchant, but still not going to beat out the Chaos Particles for me currently. Just something that you need for every single one of your pets. You can see my pets here are still pretty fairly weak, need a lot of work, right? Obviously, Vex, someone that I'm currently trying to invest a little bit in, but you always need these Chaos Particles to invest in your items. So there is that. Now, my number 1 item, you can kind of tell based on the fact that it is used in every single aspect of Hero Wars. It is maybe the most singular, important, free, right? So I'm not including emeralds, free resource that you need for everything. And so you might be able to see it just from this picture here, but we're talking about gold, guys. We are talking about gold, and there's one merchant that has the most gold available. We're looking at the Titan Soul Shop Merchant. Doesn't matter to me whether it is the lowest end gold. You need it for everything. You need it for upgrading your Titans. You need it for upgrading your heroes. You need it for battling Asgard, or battling in Asgard against Osh with those upgrades and purchasing those buffs. Just so many different aspects you need gold for. That is my number 1 item. So to recap, right, number 5 was the EXP potions. Number 4 was the large Skinstone chests. Number 3 was the Titan Skinstones. Number 2 was the Chaos Particles. And number 1, the winner of 2023 most valuable purchase for me was gold. Now, we've got one more list to run through for this particular video, and it is my top 5 Hero Soulstone purchases of 2023. I'm going to give a special shout out for honorable mention to Jet, one of my kind of upcoming heroes in terms of becoming one of my more favorite, more prevalent heroes, Jet. And the reason being, he is just very capable on the offensive side of things. He's someone that I have listed as one of my top favorite debuff heroes and can really help me take down tanks on the opposing side a lot faster. And so he deserves an honorable mention, shout out. I also have Dante on my list. He's someone that I have pretty much built around on my Hero Wars web account, which also kind of leads up to him getting more usage in that purchase department. But he's someone who's, easily one of the best offensive options in Hero Wars that is in Emergent, quite frankly. We also have Chaba, who for me has moved up as a result of his ability to deal with difficult tanks. And we're seeing an influx of tank heroes coming into Hero Wars that are pretty sturdy and difficult to take down. Looking at actually number 5 on my list as one of the heroes who can be potentially an issue if you don't have someone like Chaba or a physical attacker of some sort. So number 5 for me is Rufus. If you didn't guess, Rufus has that capability of stopping magic attackers that just most tanks don't have the same capability of. So Rufus is number 5 in my Hero Soulstone list for 2023. Number 4 is someone a lot of people might still be sleeping on, and someone who is becoming increasingly prevalent, if you will. He is available in the friendship shop and very, very useful in campaign, especially in campaign chapters 13 and on. We're looking at Cornelius dealing with those ice freezing heroes, right? Those little guys who just slow everyone down in the front side of your heroes or front side of your team. Cornelius, number 4, can knock out heroes like Celeste fairly easily, which is scary, and also has some improved usage when we're looking at battling Osh, and is in the new meta, if you will, facing off against Osh. So, number 4, Cornelius. Number 3 is someone who a lot of people use and is someone that I still use pretty regularly in the Guild Wars shop. We're looking at Ju, one of the best anti-boss heroes you can have in the game. Incredibly useful when fighting against pets and those pet bosses, right? We're talking about adventures specifically. And I mean, obviously he's great in Outland as well. The only qualm that I have is that he gets stopped against Martha, right? But hey, you know what? Ju can't be unstoppable all the time, like his skills. But he is, again, number 3 for me on that list. Now, number 2 and number 1 are in a merchant that is not on the lower level of Hero Wars. We need to elevate into the Titan Valley realm to see this particular merchant. And you might be able to guess who my top 2 heroes are. They're both in this merchant right here, and both are incredibly useful in the game of Hero Wars. Now, all 4 of these heroes are fantastic. I don't think there's any debate about that. But my number 2 hero is someone who can nullify negative status effects and grants boosts in offense, critical hit especially, which leads us to number 2 being Sebastian, one of the best heroes in the game, someone that I think every single player in Hero Wars should have in their top 15. He's just super usable, someone who should 100% be used in Grand Arena, if not already in your main arena team. Now, my number 1 hero is someone that I personally just have a liking to, and so he is currently my top hero and someone that I use on pretty much all of my accounts. He might not be in my number 1 team, but he's guaranteed in my number 2 team. He is my top hero, top go-to guy on this particular account. And if you haven't guessed already, we are looking at Kark as my number 1 hero in 2023. Now with that, I'd love to hear what you guys have as your top lists. Thank you so much for listening to mine. If you enjoy content like this, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And with that being said, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon in Dominion.